So if you have ADHD or autism, oh, some fun going on out here. But if you have ADHD or autism, you'll know that there's certain things you can do to potentially improve your life and improve it naturally without medication, without even therapy or anything like that, right? But I'm going to run through 4 tips today, maybe five, 4 or 5. The 4 or 5 tips today on how I personally, with ADHD and autism, have been able to improve my own life and how I've been able to remain, for the most part, productive and lead a normal life. Actually, I would say. Anyway, just before I go into that, I just want to thank everybody for subscribing and watching this video. This is a beautiful Tuesday. It is October 22nd, and it's the fall, almost Halloween. But yeah, let's get into it today. So number one, sounds simple, but I believe this is the case for every single person, and that is exercise. I find that when I get up in the morning and I exercise, and that could be as simple as going for a walk, but generally I'll be lifting weights. Sometimes I do like HIIT workouts. Sometimes do running or cardio machine in the gym. But what I've found is when I do that, I feel better once I do it, not just from the feeling of working out, but it allows me to then get focused on, daily tasks, daily things I need to get done in order to, you know, make progress in the areas of my life. And I feel like exercise is such an underrated thing for everybody. That I think, particularly if you have these mental health conditions, I do think it is increasingly important that you do it. And like I say, it could start from, just going a quick walk to, you know, lifting weights, doing intense cardio, things like that. So that's number one. Number two also could be seen as like a cliche thing, but I think the biggest one I had noticed was just being kinder to myself and actually, understanding that, not every day can be perfect. And one of the things I really struggle with is, well, aside from, being kind to myself, I'm usually the first person to beat myself up and say I'm not doing enough and I'm not doing enough to achieve my goals. But one thing I've found to be extremely helpful for me is creating a structure. And when I say a structure, like there's multiple things in my life I'm working towards. So when I say working towards, I mean pretty much like number one, working on, consultant work, and I have my own lead generation agency. And then I also have, some other side projects that I'm working on. And what a freaking view, eh? Oh my good God. There's a Walmart just up there. And anyways, but yeah, like creating that structure is super important, right? And I think if you create the structure in your life, you are gonna be more focused in those times, because with ADHD, it is extremely hard a lot of the time to focus on stuff because your mind starts on something, and then like literally a minute later it's like, oh my god, I got to do the dishes, I got to do this, I got to do that, and then you're constantly kind of in that limbo of doing one thing and then the next and then the next. But the reality is, when you do that, you tend to get nothing done, right? And then you beat yourself up and it's like a whole vicious cycle, right? um, One of the other things that I do, that helps me, is I do like breath work. I do, I guess, meditation. And I use Apple Fitness Plus app to do that. There's short meditations, which is like, 5 minutes all the way up until, I think there's probably up to about 15, 20 minutes. But you can find meditation online on YouTube or whatever. But meditation does help because it helps me like feel like, that mind and body connection, kind of like exercise, but in a different way. I generally do that just before I like, um, like work out, not work out, sorry, before I like get to work. So I usually sit on the chair, then I do some meditation or whatever, and then I get to work. And I think when you feel centered, before, sorry, when you feel centered, you tend to, perform better. And I think, just simple breath work really helps with that. But yeah, like there's so many things you can do that can help, and like the exercise and all of that. That applies, in my opinion, anyway, to everybody. Like if you can really do that and be consistent at it, it will not just improve your like your body, but it will improve your mind as well. One of the other biggest struggles I have is feeling overwhelmed very easily. And this is meant to be a tip video, not a problem video. So that the way and this is like, as I say, none of these are 100%. It is hard sometimes, but one of the things I've found is to avoid overwhelm is to, one, plan your day and create that structure like I mentioned. But the second one is just like you by meditating you help yourself like sort of control your thoughts, and not control your thoughts, but like allow certain thoughts to pass. Because naturally, for someone like me, like if I get a thought coming in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, I have to do something about it now. But really, you just don't, right? You just don't have to do that. But if it's important enough, you'll either remember it later or you can write it down and then come back to it later on. But it's really been strict on your timelines, on your structure, on what you're doing at that moment. So if between 9 and 10 a.m. you're working on, if you're working out, like you're not also doing your grocery shopping online, you're also not texting your friends. It's literally just doing that one thing. And I think for me, anyways, it helps a ton. So, anyways, these are just a few quick tips or quick things that help me with ADHD and autism, and I think some of these could help you. And well, I hope they help you. I would really like to, hear what you guys think and what you guys do, because there's probably a lot of things that I could try and implement that you guys could, shine some light on. So as I say, like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts. I would love to hear them. So, yeah, beautiful day here. Beautiful day to be on YouTube. um, Comment, subscribe, like, appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.